Match.
I like it. No, it's been good for us just to be able to slow down a little bit. We took a couple days off after the weekend, and just trying to get healthy, trying to get all the way healthy as much as we possibly can, because now once Pac-12 starts, it gets real. Once school starts too, they're going to be distracted with life. So while I still have their undivided attention, or at least I'd like to think I have their undivided attention, I'm just trying to take advantage of it the best I can. So it's been a good week and a couple more days to go. So trying to focus on Oregon State and UCLA a little bit. Today we actually we scouted ourselves. So we made up a game plan for if they were playing Oregon tomorrow. So trying to get them an idea of what other coaches are going to be seeing and how they're going to try and stop us and what we can do to prepare for that. Show them the things we're doing well, but other things that maybe other teams are going to try and take advantage of. So just trying to make them aware of what those could be, and so that they can work on that this week and make sure that's not an issue when we start up here next week.
Did you get a sense that was illuminating for them at all, or do they have a pretty good sense of what their perceived weaknesses might be as well as their strengths?
We asked them, how is it? And they go, oh, pretty spot on. So yeah. I think they felt like they were aware, and hopefully they are aware. I tend to tell them things like that. So, but I think it's just good for them to be able to, see what other people are seeing. And I'm not trying to hide things. I also don't want to ruin their confidence, but I think it's important for them to just be aware. And I'd rather talk about it now than after we lose at the end, So let's try and confront some of those things. And I think we're in a really good place mentally and emotionally that we can handle some of those corrections. So,
a couple of honors for Taylor last week.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about her season so far compared to maybe the last couple of years or something?
Yeah, I just think, like I said before, I think first weekend she was just trying too hard when we were playing Texas and Nebraska, and so she didn't have a great numbers-wise weekend. And since then, she's calmed down a little bit, and I think now she's just free, and she's just playing her game, and I think she's just really special. Like I thought she'd have a breakout year, so it's exciting for her to get recognized for that. She's put in a lot of work. She's very serious about how good she wants to be. So I think it's always good. I congratulated the team for her award because I just thought everybody was doing their part, so that I told them, I said, if you're going to get awards, you have to win to get awards. So the fact that we're winning allowed Taylor to get an award this week. And she got a national award and then the Pac-12 award. So you're not getting those awards when you're losing. So I thought that was a really good thing for us. And I love when they get recognized for the good things that we're doing.
Why were you expecting the breakout year? Just she's a senior? Or?
No, just the improvements that she's had. And the confidence that she was gaining in the spring was obvious. Her and Willow. I've said before that I thought they had the two best springs, and just some things really clicked for them. And I think we were able to work out kind of how to take advantage of their strengths. And so I think you're seeing that she's getting comfortable, and she's just a really hard person to defend. Mm-hmm. And she can just do things that not many people can do in the country. So, and the more she embraces that and just keep moving around her shot selection and some of those kind of things, I just think I don't know what people are going to do. It's going to be on her. She's going to stop herself. That's about it. So,
are you all worried? Are you at all worried about Lindsay's efficiency so far? She hasn't had her best start, in her opinion, to the season. Are you at all worried about that?
I'm not worried about. We're working on it. So one of my prayers this week was I think we need to speed up the set for Lindsay, just to help her out. I'm trying to get her some easier looks. So I met with our setters and trying to get them to understand that Lindsay doesn't need to have all the bad options. You can throw her some good ones too. So I think we forget about that. I think if I'm a setter, I really like setting Ronica and Willow and Taylor, that I might get infatuated with that. And in the past, that's kind of how we've been with Lindsay, is all of a sudden we just start setting her 10 times in a row, and that's a problem. So I think some of our decision-making as setters could be better to help her. But she's dealing with a lot of the hard balls, but that's her job as an outside hitter and someone who's in there for 6 rotations. So the more we can get her to embrace that you're not always going to have the glory swings, that maybe some other people will. That's not your job. We're trying to get you a few more, but that's not your job. And the more she embraces that, then the better she'll be. But her value to us is massive on the first contacts. And so for us to be successful, we don't need her to hit 400 for us to be successful. We need her to pass the ball so that everybody else can hit 400. And that might not be what she wants all the time, but I think she's understanding that. And then we'll just keep working to get her some better looks. But no, I'm not worried. And actually, what I've asked her is that I wanted her to be more steady match to match. And even though her numbers are down, they're much more in range than 400, 100, 400, 100. You know, so she actually is being more consistent for us, and that's what I was asking her to do. So let's just raise the efficiency plus the consistency.
With a team as deep as yours offensively, how do you go about splitting up those attacks?
I think we've done a good job. I mean, I think we have 5 players or so that's 2 kills or better. And again, Lindsay's the most, and she's at 3.5 kills, which I think that's, I don't know how you defend when you have 6 legitimate options on the floor. You know, you just kind of have to pick. And then the other thing is, I mean, teams are going to key on specific people. So I thought on Friday they tried to key on Willow, and so then it presented some opportunities for Samit or whoever else to be open. So I think that's where our depth is going to come in, is that if they're going to try and stop somebody or slow somebody down, then we run plays to get the other people open, and then they need to perform. So I just think night by night it's going to be a different person based upon what the other team wants to do.
When you get everyone back healthy and everyone's playing every night, ideally, where do you see Brooke's role being when she gets back?
On the court somewhere. I honestly don't know. It'll just depend. I think she can do so many different things. I like her. In the back row is really where where we recruited her, you know. And you can see the impact she made Saturday. And she can attack out of the back row, and her serve is really good. I think sometimes it's good to give Julie a rest. I think it'd be great to give Lindsay a rest sometimes. So I think we can just kind of throw her in wherever. So is that fair to her? I don't know. But I'm sure she'd like to play, so I think she'll be okay with it. And then sometimes if Jolie or Lindsay is struggling, it's okay for Brooke to just stay in and do what she does, and she provides a huge spark for us, and she's a crowd pleaser. You know, she brings energy to the game. So I think you're going to see her probably in a variety of roles, and I think that's probably where we're best, is when we can just move around based upon what we need that night.
Man, how do you explain to maybe a non-volleyball follower the percentage numbers on hitting? I mean,
sure,
what they mean,
yeah.
Or what's good? Or...
So it's like baseball.
Yeah.
So same as batting average. So it's kills. So balls that you attack that go to the floor for a point for us. So it's kills minus errors, your hitting errors, over all your attempts. So right now, Ronica is hitting 400 for the season. So she's basically getting 4 kills for every 10 swings without an error. And she's probably more like 5 kills, 1 error, 10 swings. So that 5 minus 1, 4 divided by 10 is 400.
Yeah.
So that's how you come up with that. So just like a 300 batting average means you're an all-star, well, 300 hitting percentage here means you're an all-American at different positions. So for Lindsay, if Lindsay's hitting 250, if our outsides are hitting 250, that's a big-time number. With the amount of attempts they get. Your right sides, you want them around 350, which both of them are. And then your middles, you want them around 400, which Ronica is. Samit's got to keep working. Last match, she hit 889. So that's going to bring your average up. So I think that's where you want to be. So ideally, you're hitting over 300 as a team. Right now, we're hitting 301 as a team, and we're holding teams to 150, which if you're plus minus 150, you're doing a good job. So I'm proud of the 300, but I'm really proud of the 150 considering the schedule we've had. So that's how that works, but it's good numbers so far. We'll see what happens in Pac-12 play. But
so you think a baseball analogy is pretty accurate?
Yeah, I mean, most people are more familiar with baseball and batting average, so that's kind of what I would do with it to explain it better. But yeah, so that's the idea. The more kills you get, the less errors you get, the higher percentage you get. So we keep trying to get more kills, but not give up those errors. So I think that's what we've been focusing on this week, is how do we get, like you said, Lindsay 1 or 2 more kills out of her 10 with no more errors. So just trying to find some of those. Or sometimes it's just don't give away the errors. Lindsay, for example, Lindsay scores enough. She gets enough kills. It's don't give away some of those silly, bad opportunities. Don't make them points for the other team. And then her hitting percentage will go up too. So
we're right around the corner from Pac-12 play. What are your thoughts on it?
It's really exciting. I think Cal right now has the worst rating, and they're 51. So everybody's basically top 50, which is a tournament team. I mean, it's crazy. So we open up with Oregon State. I think the RPI right now is we're 14 and Oregon State's 16, and UCLA's 21. So I mean, every night is going to be tough competition. And again, that's why we tried to schedule as tough as we could so that we never got unaccustomed to what we're going to get in Pac-12 play. So every night you got to bring it, and I think that's where our depth is going to help, because you're not always going to have your best effort. So make sure somebody else is ready to step in if something's going down. But we're excited. We're excited to open up the Civil War. So.
Are you beginning to notice any emerging leaders amongst the players, or does the strong bond with the team make it seem as though the team is a team of strong leaders? Yeah,
I would say it's totally a team effort, and I think the more that you interview everybody, you get a sense of everyone has a big piece in the pie, and so I think that's where you're going to be really successful. is when everybody's held accountable and everybody's doing their part. So I think there's Maggie Scott's great. You know, she's a great leader, and other people are stepping up. But I would say overall, everybody's doing their job.